Hello, my name is Ava Ward. My presentation is going to be how childhood affects your personality. This is for Dr. Bourne's class, English 101. My objectives today are going to be one, extreme effects on childhood trauma, name psychology, environments and cultures, conformity to social norms, bullying, and then my rebuttal to the counter argument. First off, how trauma leads someone to kill. Childhood trauma is one of the most extreme examples. Serial killers are one of the most extreme examples of how childhood trauma can affect someone negatively. In the article, in the research paper, Incidents of Child Abuse and Serial Killers by Heather Mitchell and Michael Amont, they speak on how childhood trauma is a very common theme among serial lust killers. Lust killers are killers who kill for some sort of sexual gratification. They found that out of the 50 lust killers that they uh, researched about, they found that 68% of them experienced childhood trauma in some way, whether that was physical, sexual, psychological, neglect, or other. You can see that at the bottom here of this comparing the serial killer abuse to general population. This evidence shows how like someone is when someone is like shown to childhood trauma, they and like repeatedly experienced that can normalize that behavior, and that can lead them to their future actions seeming more normal to them or seeming less extreme. Name psychology in youth. One of the first things you learn about when growing up is names. Your own name, your family members' names, it's a very big brick in learning when you're a child. Um, and one of the very first things you learn about is the stereotypes of names and the expectations of names. When a child is growing up and they learn their own name, they start to learn what other people of their same name look like, what they act like, how they sound. So subconsciously, they start taking on the personality traits of that person. And that can affect how they act as adults. And then on the flip side of the coin, there is negative connotations on how names there's connotations of how names are seen to certain people. So say if a boy is named a girl name like Ashley or Jamie, that could lead them to being more like masculine or macho in their adult life to make up for that their name is more girly. Environments and cultures, and where you grow up is one of the biggest factors in how like who your friends are, what your hobbies are, your social skills. It's a very big factor. In an article, um, they talk on how different behaviors, how kids behave in different countries. For example, in Russia, their culture there is very much you're not allowed to smile in public. It's seen as rude or weird to be happy or joyous in public. And so most of the time children there are quiet, they're reserved, they don't talk much, they don't seem happy. And that's just what they've learned from their culture. Kids copy their environment. They like it they like connect they collect all this information around them so they can like still be a part of their group. um Conformity to social norms. When you're growing up, you want to fit in, and when you are trying to fit in, you are going to look at the group around you and try to conform to that, which can lead to kids changing their character to the people around them, which can change their likes, their wants, a lot of things. um and even if you don't realize it, you're always subconsciously push like kids are always going to act like the group around them. Um, and this could go when the group is trying to push a certain like uh personality trait on someone else, which is peer pressure. Say if you are I don't know, say if you are not a smoker, but then kids are peer pressuring you to smoke and then you start smoking, that can affect your personality later in life because like that change like a smoker's personality changes. They're more aggressive, more a lot of stuff. And then this quote at the bottom is saying current studies show that conformity is a social tool used during development to convince children to accept social norms and expectations by Christopher J. Shaw. Bullying. Um, Bullying affects people's personalities in adulthood in many ways. It affects their mental health and social skills and their interests and behaviors. In this article from the organization StopBullying.gov, they talk about how bullying can cause depression and anxiety, and increased feeling of sadness and loneliness, changes in sleep and eating patterns, and loss of interest in activities they used to enjoy. These issues may persist into childhood. Um, may persist into childhood or into adulthood. This shows how how and then this is the rebuttal to the counter argument. The counter argument is that the majority of a person's personality is made up of their genetic code and how they are like how they were born. An argument that they can use for that they typically use is that if um like if a person's personality is made up of their environment and how they grew up and how they were raised, why can siblings' personality traits be so different? My rebuttal to this is there is many factors. One could be there's so much external experiences that children experience outside of the home that affects how they are in their future. And then also just like birth order. It like typically in this quote here, it says firstborns are less likely than laterborns to participate in dangerous sports by Corinna Hartman and Sarah Guindarez. Um, this shows that that children's like there's so much other factors besides just how you were born that can affect it because like like there's an overwhelming majority that firstborns are less likely to participate in dangerous sports or dangerous activities. And then my conclusion, environment affects how we are raised. Environment affects how we are raised. Children internalize everything, and since they experience everything for the first time, that develops their personality so much. And then here are my sources, and that's it.